Hello and welcome back to my channel. Um, I just wanted to talk to you a minute about the eclipse coming up and things that you may begin to experience because of eclipse energy. And this particular eclipse is a little bit different, a little bit stronger than other eclipses in the past. Mainly because those who are awakening are now in this phase where we're not just healing ourselves, but we're healing our ancestral lineages. And I'm going to explain that in a moment. So, excuse me. Let me just back up to yesterday. Yesterday morning, I woke up immediately feeling this deep fear, this deep worry, this deep sadness. And all day long yesterday, I could feel it, this energy. I just couldn't shake it. I would cry for no reason, deeply cry. And as I was sitting outside at one point, deeply crying, I asked, what is this all about? Because this is not me. And in that moment, I actually became aware that not everyone is going to be aware that this is not their feelings. They're just going to be for sure that there's something coming that's bad. Now, let me back up again to asking, what is this that I feel? And telling you what I was shown. I was shown my mother, my aunts, my grandmother, her mother, her aunts, all fearful of eclipses. Because in our family, in our bloodline, things like that were omens of things to come, where the lines of the truth in the oral traditions being passed down had changed from generation to generation. So it went from being a good thing that you have an eclipse to being a harbinger. Now, I personally don't feel this way about eclipses, lunar or solar. I like them both just the same. I know their purpose, and they are beneficial to all of us who are on a spiritual awakening path. Now, of course, the people that are not on that path, they may still experience the same deep well of emotion, but they just have no concept of knowing why, other than, again, something in them instinctually may think impending doom is coming. So I want to explain to you how, in breaking our karmic debts, not just for ourselves, but for our families, for our lineage, each of us individually, for our own family's lineage, we are picking up that residual energy of their emotions, of their thoughts, their feelings towards certain things. You know, um, for some, it could be a great fear of losing your child or children. For others, it could be a great fear of a car wreck or whatever. But you get my drift here. It's something that, or even like superstitions, where there's a great fear of 7 years of bad luck if you break a mirror, right? Or putting two mirrors together creates a portal that's dangerous, but that's not necessarily true either. And it's not that they're just superstitions that should be dismissed. And actually, not even the point of the conversation that we're having right now, because it isn't a debate over whether they are real or not. It's your belief in them that matters, or rather, your family's beliefs, your lineage. beliefs that have been passed down, that have been alchemically passed to the next generation. Um, for example, my mother is absolutely terrified of snakes as well. So, out of 7 children, several of her children are also terrified of snakes, but they never had their own personal experience with a snake to be scared of said snake. It was something that was just passed to some of us from our mother. So there are multiple things that we infuse or alchemically possess into the next um, generation of people in our family from the way that we feel about things. So, yesterday, when I was feeling deep sadness and deep fear and very, very low um, expressions of having no control over anything and feeling helpless, extremely limited, um, I was shown that this was the opinion and the feelings of my mother and my aunts and my grandmother and her aunts and her mother and her grandmother and so on. That this is something that's been passed generationally about the impending eclipse. And I personally was not even that focused on the eclipse because I have other things to do. So I'm not focused on that, coming. I know that it'll be here Saturday. I know that that's when it happens, and I welcome it, but I'm not fretting or worrying about it personally or focused on it in any way. And so that was my first clue, if you will, that this was not my feelings. I also am not typically a sad person, not even a little bit sad. I'm typically a very bubbly, happy, fun person. I mean, my friends consider me the life of the party because I'm quite fun. And I know that you don't really see that side of me, but trust me, it's true. um, so I knew that that wasn't my feelings. And I don't have low self esteem either. And I don't feel limited. And I don't feel like things are out of control or that there's anything to deeply fear in my life. So I knew that these feelings that I was experiencing were not my own. And that's why I had the thought to ask, because anytime I ask, whether it's God or Uriel or Aurora or one of my guides, Pleiadians, someone will answer me. You know, typically God, typically source information. But so I asked, and then I was shown all of these women in my family who have always worried and fret around the time of an eclipse. It was a thing to be feared for them. They were taught to do that. They were taught to be afraid of what could happen during an eclipse, which I'm aware of, but I never did understand. Even as a child, I couldn't comprehend it. Um, because for me, it is a time of cleansing. And so that too is what I was shown is that this deep level of crying that I was doing was a purging and a cleansing of ancestral karmic lineage being cleared, that imprint being cleared, that essence being cleared away. And so I want you to be aware of that so that if you are experiencing, and it didn't have to just start yesterday, it could have started last week, even, because the energy of the eclipse you can actually feel it. And I believe that the astronomers and astrologists would agree that you can feel it for about 6 weeks, um, but going both ways, right, on each side of it. At least 3 weeks out on each side of it as it comes in and as it's going away. You're going to feel the residual energies of those frequencies that are changing because they are affecting us. There's no doubt about that. They do affect us. Um, on an emotional level, they affect us. On a physical level, they affect us because it's a change in the vibrations. It's a change in the frequencies that our body and our emotions um, and our spiritual being are used to. So, my advice to you is first to remind yourself that this is not your emotions, even though it is your experience. And the reason that you're experiencing it is to clear the karmic debt, if you will, or essence or residual energy that has been left behind from your family, from your ancestors. And that this is a time of deep healing for all of us. Each one of us are a beacon for our family. And so, at that moment when those things are happening, our light can grow stronger and brighter from this purge and this release, this healing that we will go through, that we will experience. And um, to try to, as often as possible, coming up to the eclipse, through the eclipse, and just past it. Really, always, we should be in deep love and gratitude, but particularly for the eclipse, focus your um, conscious awareness to deep love and deep gratitude for all of the beautiful things that you do have in your life, beginning with yourself and your health and your well being and your spiritual growth and evolution that you are experiencing in these moments. And then extend that out to your family, your children, your spouse, your parents, your siblings, your friends, so on and so forth. Deep love and deep gratitude, and really feel the emotions of that deep love and that deep gratitude that you have for each of those souls that are in your life. And then when you're finished with all of the souls that you can name, including your dog or your cat or your fish or your snake, whatever your pet may be, then go to the material things as well, and don't don't hesitate for that. Don't feel bad for that. You should be grateful for the material things that you have. Always. We should always be grateful for them. It's when we're not grateful and we take advantage of them that we've gotten too big for our britches, so to speak. Right? So try to walk in that deep love and that deep gratitude in the next few weeks. And also, I was shown to relay to you that moving forward, you will find yourself not stuck anymore. A lot of us are feeling stuck in different things, whether it's our creative processes or our career endeavors or maybe a relationship, whatever the case may be, that all of these things will begin to clear a path to your destination for where you have focused your energy. And um, it will become a path of least resistance for you. So moving forward, you will have less obstacles, less difficulties, less um, resistance, and much quicker paced turnaround or things finally beginning to click into place for you. And to keep in mind, remind yourself that nothing is ever as it seems. Much of you are familiar with the terms that this is a movie, and to think of it that way so that you can further understand that you are the directors, you are the editors, you are the creators of the movie. And so you do have a hand in the co creating of the movie that you see play out before you. But to also remind yourself that nothing is ever as it seems on the surface, including these emotions, these wellspring of emotions that you will be experiencing because of the eclipse, that they are not yours, even though it is your experience. And to move forward, knowing that, being aware of that, being conscious of that, because that in and of itself is part of your spiritual evolution in this great awakening. So breathe, keep yourself cleansed of negative energies, negative thoughts, and purge all that you feel. Purge it, allow it to come forth, hold space for it, honor it, and respect it. You don't have to dissect it. And then let it go. Let it flow. Let it recycle and clear so that we move forward in more healthy ways in all levels of our evolution and development. Health, wealth, emotional, and spiritual well-being. And until we do another video and I see you again, be well and be blessed in love and light. And hit that like button. I'll see you soon.